Built in 1872, this fort was used as a key defence point for the area's naval base. Where am I? Find out in just a second. Welcome to Discovering Dorset. Today we will be looking at the small coastal town of Weymouth. We're going to be focusing on 3 traditional businesses which are still thriving even in today's economical climate. Let's have a sneak peek at what's coming up in today's edition. We take a look around a blacksmith's forge. 16 years and counting, Stuart Wiltshire is still a dedicated glassblower. For now though, we will be exploring the in and outs of one of Weymouth's busiest and most popular delicatessens.
Well, the business was already a going concern. The guy who had it before me, I actually worked with his wife, and found out that they were short-staffed. So I came down to give them a hand for a while, really making sausages and doing the sort of meat side of it. And I was here for about 14 months or so, and he had a heart attack. So the job I was doing at the time, it was pretty easy to leave, so I came and sort of helped out around the shop for about 6 months, and then he was just too unwell to come back to work, so I managed to get some money together and bought a shop. So that was 14 years ago. So it felt like, when you get the business long, it felt like a lifetime, but 14 years have flown by. So, and the shop itself has been here now for about 40 years.
That's lovely. Thank you. Thank you.
We've got a really good clientele base. Most of them come in usually on the same day, same week, every week, have almost the same things. So quite often someone will come in, I'll be talking to them and getting what they want without actually asking them, because they have the same thing most of the time. I feel that to be a proper deli, you should be making stuff yourself. You should be taking that time and effort to produce something that you're happy about selling and you're happy about eating yourselves. If they're doing it properly, they should be doing similar things to us. Buying the raw ingredients, prepping it themselves, making it themselves and everything else. But it depends whether they are or not. I can buy pies, I can buy so-called gourmet pies. Personally, I don't think they're as good as mine. It's the quality that's the thing for me. You can go and buy a cheaper pie, but the amount of people I get in who will quite often say, oh, it's worth paying an extra £1 to get yours because it's so much nicer. Well, a lot of it we make ourselves, or produce ourselves anyway. Our main meat supplier is over in Poole, and we get everything, so 95% of the meat that we use comes over from them, and I then process it when I get here. So all the hams we bone and cook ourselves, same with the beef and the turkey, which is probably a bit more unusual these days because most people don't do that. We have our own ham boiler, and then we can keep direct control over everything then. So there's no preservatives, there's no rubbish added to it, there's nothing, although it's a manufacturing process, there's nothing manufactured about what we do. I've often thought about getting another shop, but it's just being able to split yourself in two, really. Unless we did it as a kind of partnership, or like the kids growing up maybe, or something like that, where if they wanted to do a little bit, they could run one, I could run the other. But it's just the feasibility of it. It's making sure it's not too far away, that you've got enough time to be in both places if you have to be, or maybe going for a bigger shop, and then is that worth it? To relocate everything. So it's a difficult one. I'll probably just end up, carrying on as I am.
So after having a look at the Deli, we now look at Stuart Wiltshire, owner of Weymouth's only glassblowers, Freeform Glass.
Hi, my name's Stuart Wiltshire. I've been a glassblower for 17 years. From an early age, my dad always worked in glass factories. From all I can remember, about being 6-year-old, when he worked in Welsh Royal Crystal in Wales. I used to go and watch all the blowers making little glass animals and stuff. And that's when I really thought that's pretty cool what they're doing. I didn't really say I feel like I wanted to be a glassblower until I left school when I was 16. Then I got a job in the newest glass factory my dad worked in, which was Darlington Crystal, and started carrying wine glasses, started right at the bottom. And that's when I started playing around with the glass dinner times and really fell in love with it. Mainly after one of the blowers told me that I've got natural talent for it. And then after that I just put everything into it really. I do consider glassblowing to be an art form. The sculpting and the ideas, and you've got to plan everything in your head before you start. Like if I sat down to make something and I didn't plan it in my head what I was going to make, it would look like it when I finished. Whereas if you really plan it, you've got to basically plan it all in your head, know exactly what you're going to do from start to finish. And it is an art form, and it is they say it's one of the hardest skills of the lot. And I do agree with them, it is pretty damn hard. My nephews are 15 and 16, they're already showing an interest. They spend every school holiday with me, weekends down here. Without pushing them or anything, they want to do it and they want to learn. I do really enjoy teaching. The look on people's faces, from the start of the lesson they come in, they look scared to death, like they're really worried they're going to burn themselves or something. And by the end of the lesson they're smiling, they absolutely love it. I've had such good feedback, that's what really makes me go on to want to teach more and more, just from the reaction I get from people. And I've had some really good reviews on TripAdvisor and on my website. And in fact, I'm #1 activity in Dorset on TripAdvisor. One thing that goes to my advantage is glassblowing probably is a dying trade. When I started blowing at 16 in 1996, there was 120 blowers in the factory. And when I left in 2010, there was only about 14, 15 left. And there's also other factories all around the country have shut down, downsized. So hopefully there's a big market for me there in the next 20, 30 years to keep it going.
Before we go to the break, here's your chance to win a weekend break in Dorset. For your chance to win, please answer the following question. Who owns Weymouth Deli? Is it A. Lee and Berry, B. Stuart Wiltshire, or C. Simon Grant Jones? For your chance to win, please text A, B or C to 077 462 09078. Entrance must be over 18, text costs £1.50 plus one standard network rate. Join us after the break where we will be taking a look at a national blacksmith champion in his very own forge. back to Discovering Dorset. Today we're in the small coastal fishing town of Weymouth with just over 52,000 residents. Despite having a range of modern shops, there are still a few in Weymouth who practice traditional trades.
My name's Simon Grant-Jones. I'm a professional blacksmith. I've been a blacksmith for around about 20 years. I was an engineer previously to that. I always wanted to be a blacksmith, but I was always dissuaded from following a manual craft, if you like. To a grammar school, and the careers masters, they always were trying to push us to do the best job that they thought we were more suited to. I was told to be an engineer. I was told that there was no training available for blacksmiths, and it was a waste of time trying to pursue a career in such a menial job. So I became an engineer, and I still yearned for the chance to be a blacksmith. I didn't really know where I could find any training, but circumstances over the years, I was made redundant several times, and in the end I thought, I've got to give it a go. I paid to do 2 years of training, and then I was taken on as an apprentice and did a further 2 years of training at Salisbury, and I've never looked back since. It was the best thing I ever did. I've been national champion twice in the past few years. I've been reserve national champion blacksmith twice in the past 3 or 4 years. So it's become a good career move for me. I really enjoy what I'm doing. I'm my own boss, and I'm also lucky enough to be able to teach the trade as well. I'm a licentiate of the Worshipful Company of Blacksmiths of London, which means I'm a recognised teacher of the trade, and I use that skill to teach young people and adults at Kingston Ward College and other suitably equipped schools and colleges in the local area. I'm really pleased to be able to do that because it's giving something back. The lifestyle is absolutely fantastic. I meet loads of interesting people. I'm always working on really interesting and sometimes prestigious commissions, so there's that kudos that goes with it as well, and you gradually learn to be proud of what you've done, and I don't think that you can get that through working for big organisations and things like that. I think that being self-employed as a craftsman, producing your own items for customers, I don't think you can beat it.
Unfortunately, that's all we have time for today on Discovering Dorset. Please join us again next time. For your chance to win a weekend break in Dorset, please answer the following question. Who owns Weymouth Deli? Is it A. Liam Berry, B. Stuart Wiltshire, C. Simon Grant-Jones? For your chance to win, please text A, B or C to 077 462 09078. Entrance must be over 18, text costs £1.50 plus one standard network rate. you.